Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. What is the most dangerous thing you can do in life? It's not jumping out of a plane. It's not lifting 1,000 pounds. It's not even facing your biggest fears. The most dangerous thing you can ever do is wake up every day and stay the same. Because the moment you stop learning, the moment you stop growing, that is the moment your potential begins to die. Every day you are either moving forward or falling behind. And the truth is, the world will not wait for you. If you want to unlock your true potential, if you want to live the life you are truly capable of, then you must make a decision right now to educate yourself every single day, no matter what. My friends, let me tell you something very important. Every single day is a chance for you to grow, to push yourself, to learn something new. The moment you stop learning, you stop moving forward. And the people who stop moving forward, they get stuck. They live in the same place. They settle. But you are not here to settle. You are here to unlock the greatness that is inside of you. You are here to break through the limits that you thought were fixed. You are here to surprise even yourself with what you can become. And that only happens if you make education a daily habit. Now, I'm not talking only about schools or classrooms or degrees. I am talking about educating yourself in life every single day in every way possible. Education is not just about books. It is about sharpening your mind, strengthening your character, and preparing yourself to take on the world. It means reading, listening, observing, asking questions, and being humble enough to admit you don't know everything. It means training your brain the same way you train your muscles. If you want to grow stronger in the gym, you lift weights every day. If you want to grow stronger in life, you feed your mind every day. Think about it. Every person you admire, every person who has achieved something extraordinary has been a student long after school ended. They never stopped learning. They studied other people. They studied their craft. They studied life itself. They weren't afraid to be beginners again and again. That's why they were able to unlock new levels of success. Because success doesn't belong to the ones who think they know it all. It belongs to the ones who keep learning, who stay hungry, who stay curious. I can tell you from my own journey, nothing came easy. I had to educate myself in bodybuilding, in acting, in business, in leadership. Every time I entered a new arena, I had to start from scratch. I didn't walk in knowing everything. I walked in knowing nothing. But I studied, I learned, I listened, I practiced, I made mistakes, and I learned from those too. That is how you build yourself into someone who can succeed anywhere. That is how you keep unlocking your true potential. And let me tell you, it is not about talent. Too many people think they can rely on talent alone. Talent is only the starting point. Talent without education, without discipline, without growth will fade away. But when you combine talent with a daily hunger to learn, you become unstoppable. You build wisdom, you build resilience, you build vision. And that is what separates those who talk about dreams from those who actually achieve them. You see, every day you wake up with two choices. You can repeat the same old patterns, or you can grow. You can waste hours scrolling, complaining, doing nothing, or you can invest those hours in becoming better. If you read 10 pages a day, by the end of the year, you've read thousands. If you practice one new skill for 15 minutes a day, in a year, you'll be far ahead of the ones who didn't bother. Little actions compound, just like in the G's. One workout won't change you, but daily discipline transforms you into something powerful. The truth is, education is everywhere. It is in books, in podcasts, in conversations with people smarter than you. It is in the way you analyze your failures, the way you ask yourself, what can I learn from this? It is in observing the habits of those who inspire you. If you keep your eyes open and your mind open, every day becomes a classroom. Every experience becomes a lesson. Every struggle becomes an opportunity to learn something new about yourself. But here is the secret. Most people don't do it. They live on autopilot. They wake up, they work, they eat, they sleep, and they repeat. They never challenge their mind. They never feed their brain. They never step out of their comfort zone. And then they wonder why their life looks the same year after year. Do not make that mistake. You must choose to break that cycle. You must choose to educate yourself because nobody else will do it for you. And I know some of you are thinking, but I don't have the time. I am too busy. Let me be honest with you. That is just an excuse. Everyone has time. You have time on your commute. You have time before bed. You have time when others are wasting it on distractions. The question is not whether you have time. The question is whether you have priorities. If you prioritize growth, you will make the time. If you prioritize comfort, you will always find an excuse. So here is what I want you to do. I want you to make a decision that every day you will feed your mind. Even if it is just for 10 minutes, do something that makes you smarter, stronger, wiser. Read something that challenges you. Watch something that inspires you. Write down your thoughts. Ask a question you've never asked before. Talk to someone who knows more than you. And most importantly, apply what you learn, because knowledge without action is useless. You have to take what you learn and put it into practice. That is how you transform yourself. And as you keep doing this day after day, something amazing happens. You start to see possibilities where others see problems. You start to see solutions where others see obstacles. You start to believe in yourself in a way you never did before. Because when you educate yourself, you give yourself the tools to build confidence. And confidence, my friends, is one of the most powerful weapons you can have in life. Don't underestimate what small daily education can do. The greatest transformations are not made in a day. They are made through consistency, through discipline, through small steps that add up to something massive. Every book, every lesson, every question, every mistake learned from, these are the bricks that build the foundation of your future. And the stronger your foundation, the higher you can go. Remember, the world is always changing. New technologies, new challenges, new opportunities, they are coming whether you are ready or not. If you don't educate yourself, you fall behind. If you don't grow, you shrink. But if you stay committed to learning, if you make it part of who you are, you will always be ready. You will always adapt. You will always find a way to win. The people who rise to the top are not the ones who are born with everything handed to them. They are the ones who worked on themselves every single day, who educated themselves when no one was watching, who invested in their growth when others wasted time. They are the ones who refused to stay the same. They are the ones who decided they had more potential inside them and then proved it by never stopping learning. So the choice is yours. Do you want to live an average life, or do you want to unlock your true potential? Do you want to stay where you are, or do you want to become something greater than even you imagined? The answer lies in what you do every single day. Educate yourself. Learn, grow, adapt, push, challenge yourself. Because the more you feed your mind, the more powerful your life becomes. You must see your mind as a muscle. The same way your biceps grow with resistance, your brain grows with resistance too. If you only lift light weights, your muscles never change. If you only consume easy ideas, your mind never changes. Growth comes when you push past the point of comfort, when you take on challenges that feel heavy, when you learn something that at first feels impossible. That is how strength is built, by embracing resistance, not avoiding it. And every day you have a chance to put your brain under that kind of resistance, to stretch it, to force it to adapt, to make it stronger. Think about when you first learned to do something new. At the start, it felt awkward, maybe even painful. You didn't understand it, you felt clumsy, you wanted to quit. But if you stayed with it, if you kept practicing, suddenly what was once impossible became natural. That is the process of growth. That is what daily education does for you. At first, you may not see the results, but slowly your thinking sharpens, your understanding deepens, your confidence grows. One day, you look back and realize you are not the same person you used to be. You have evolved. People often talk about potential like it is some mystery, like it is locked away behind a wall. But the truth is, your potential is unlocked piece by piece every time you learn. Every lesson is a key. Every book, every mistake, every conversation, every new skill adds another key to your ring. The more keys you collect, the more doors you open. And behind those doors are new opportunities, new levels of achievement, new versions of yourself that you didn't even know existed. That is why education cannot be optional. It must be the fuel that drives your entire life. There will always be distractions. There will always be the temptation to waste your time. People will say, relax, enjoy yourself, you deserve a break. And yes, of course, rest is necessary, but too many people confuse laziness for rest. Rest is intentional. Laziness is avoidance. If you are avoiding growth, if you are avoiding learning, you are choosing weakness over strength. You are choosing to stay stuck. And when you stay stuck long enough, you start believing that is all you are capable of. That is the biggest trap of all, forgetting what you are truly capable of because you stop feeding your mind. The truth is, nobody is born extraordinary. We are all born the same way, weak, uneducated, uncertain. The difference is that some people commit themselves to growth while others don't. The champions, the leaders, the innovators, they weren't born knowing everything. They became who they are because they refused to stay the same. They studied harder. They paid attention. They kept learning when others gave up. They took every experience in life and turned it into education. That is what separated them from the rest. And here is something very important to understand. Education is not about perfection. You are not going to get everything right. You are not going to understand everything the first time. You are going to make mistakes, and sometimes you will feel like you are failing. But those moments are not the end. They are the lessons. Every failure is an education. Every setback is teaching you something if you are willing to look at it the right way. The people who win are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who never stop learning from failure. I want you to imagine yourself 5 years from now. Ask yourself, if I keep living exactly as I am today, where will I be? Will I be stronger? Will I be wiser? Will I be closer to my dreams? Or will I be in the same place, frustrated, wondering why nothing has changed? Now imagine the other path. Imagine that every single day for the next 5 years, you commit it to learning, even if it is small, even if it is just one lesson a day. Imagine the knowledge you would gain, the skills you would develop, the confidence you would build. The difference between those two futures is massive, and the choice is entirely in your hands. One of the greatest gifts of educating yourself every day is that it changes the way you see the world. The more you learn, the more connections you make. You start seeing patterns where others see randomness. You start seeing opportunities where others see problems. You start believing that you can create solutions. That is what separates the leaders from the followers. The ability to see what others cannot see, to think in ways others cannot think. And that only comes when you dedicate yourself to feeding your mind consistently. Do not underestimate how much power there is in small, consistent effort. People always think they need one giant breakthrough, one big moment that changes everything. But breakthroughs are built on thousands of small steps that nobody else sees. Behind every great achievement are hours of reading, practicing, learning, failing, adjusting, and trying again. Behind every overnight success are years of invisible education. The ones who look like they just got lucky are the ones who were preparing for years without anyone noticing. That is what you must do. Prepare yourself daily, because when the opportunity comes, you won't have time to get ready. You must already be ready. Another thing you must understand is that education is not always comfortable. It is not always fun. Sometimes it is boring, sometimes it is frustrating, sometimes it is confusing. But that is the price of growth. You cannot expect to only do the things that feel good and still unlock your true potential. Growth requires sacrifice. It requires discipline. It requires you to choose the long-term benefit over the short-term comfort. And if you can train your mind to make that choice, see, every day you will separate yourself from the crowd very quickly. Look around you. Most people are not willing to do that. Most people take the easy path. They want the reward without the work, the success without the struggle, the growth without the education, and because of that, they stay average. But if you are willing to do what most people are not, if you are willing to educate yourself every day, even when it is hard, even when it is uncomfortable, you will achieve what most people cannot. The world does not need more people who are content with mediocrity. The world needs more people who are hungry, who are curious, who are willing to keep learning, no matter how much they already know. The world needs leaders, problem solvers, visionaries. And that is what you can become if you make daily education your lifestyle. Not just a phase, not just a project, but a permanent way of living. You might say, but I am too far behind. I am too old. I should have started earlier. That is another excuse. It does not matter when you start. What matters is that you start today. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, but the second best time is right now. If you keep saying it's too late, you are only robbing yourself of the future you could have had. Start now. Educate yourself now. Build the life you want now. Because if you don't, 5 years from now, you will look back and regret that you wasted even more time. And remember, nobody can take this away from you. Material things can be lost. Money can be lost. Opportunities can be lost. But what you put inside your mind stays with you forever. The skills you build, the knowledge you gather, the wisdom you earn, those are yours for life. They are the greatest investment you can ever make because they pay you back every single day in ways that nothing else can. So when you wake up tomorrow, don't just think about what you need to do for work or for school or for other people. Ask yourself, what am I going to do today to grow? Make that your mission. One page, one podcast, one conversation, one reflection. That is all it takes to keep moving forward. And when you stack those days on top of each other, when you refuse to let a day go by without feeding your mind, you will be shocked at how far you can go. The biggest mistake people make is thinking that one day they will suddenly wake up and be ready, ready for the promotion, ready for the opportunity, ready for the challenge. But that day never comes unless you prepare for it. Preparation is what creates readiness, and education is preparation. You cannot expect to rise to the level of your goals if you are not educating yourself to handle them. Your goals demand a stronger version of you, and that stronger version is built piece by piece with every lesson you learn, every new skill you master, every piece of knowledge you absorb. Every time you learn something new, you are stacking another brick on the foundation of your future. Some days it feels like progress is invisible, like nothing is happening, but that is how building works. If you watch a building go up brick by brick, it looks slow, almost boring, but give it time and suddenly there is a structure standing tall where there was nothing before. That is what you are doing with your mind and your life when you educate yourself every day. You are building something that will stand tall, something solid, something unshakable. Do not let the illusion of speed fool you. Too many people chase quick success, shortcuts, hacks. They want the glory without the grind. But those shortcuts don't last. The people who climb fast without building a foundation, they collapse just as fast. Real power, real confidence, real success, it all comes from the daily investment in yourself, from the daily education that strengthens your mind and prepares you for whatever life throws at you. That cannot be skipped. That cannot be rushed. And here is the truth. You are already educating yourself whether you realize it or not. Everything you consume, everything you watch, everything you listen to, it is shaping your mind. The question is, are you shaping it with intention, or are you letting the world shape it for you? If you spend your time on meaningless distractions, you are educating yourself in weakness. If you spend your time on gossip, you are educating yourself in negativity. But if you choose to consume knowledge, to learn from great minds, to challenge yourself with ideas that make you grow, then you are educating yourself in strength. You are building a mind that is sharp, disciplined, and unstoppable. The real challenge is consistency. Anybody can pick up a book once, anybody can watch one documentary or listen to one podcast, but doing it every day, making it a habit, that is where the magic happens. Consistency is what transforms education into power. Think of it like the gym. Doing one workout does nothing, but training day after day over months and years, that is what creates real transformation. Your mind is no different. Feed it daily, exercise it daily, challenge it daily, and it will transform into something extraordinary. And it is not just about knowledge for its own sake. Education gives you choices. The more you learn, the more options you have in life. When you don't know, you are trapped. You are limited. But when you educate yourself, you open doors. You can move into new fields. You can adapt to new challenges. You can create new opportunities. Knowledge makes you flexible. It makes you unstoppable because no matter what changes in the world, you have the ability to adapt, to evolve, to keep moving forward. Look at the people who struggle the most when life changes. They are the ones who stopped learning. The world moved on and they didn't. They refused to grow and now they feel lost. Don't let that happen to you. The world will keep changing faster and faster, and if you are not educating yourself, you will fall behind. But if you commit to daily growth, if you keep learning no matter what, then you will always be ready. You will always be able to reinvent yourself, to seize the new opportunities that others are too afraid to touch. And here is another thing. When you educate yourself, you inspire others. People see you reading, studying, learning, and they want to do the same. They see your growth, your confidence, your success, and they start to ask, what are they doing differently? And when they realize it is education, it motivates them to take action too. You are not just changing your own life, you are creating a ripple effect that changes the lives of everyone around you. That is the power of living as an example, of showing through your actions what is possible, but you cannot stop. The moment you think you know enough, the moment you stop learning, that is the moment you start falling behind. Humility is the secret ingredient here. No matter how much you know, no matter how much you achieve, you must always remember there is more to learn. The best athletes, the best entrepreneurs, the best leaders, they never act like they know it all. They stay curious, they stay hungry, they stay humble. That is why they keep growing when everyone else stalls. You must become a student for life. That is the mindset that separates the great from the average. The average person says, I graduated, I'm done learning. The great person says, I will never stop learning because I will never stop growing. The average person wants comfort. The great person wants growth. The I The average person thinks they already know enough. The great person knows they don't. Which one are you going to be? And don't forget, education is not only about books and courses. Life itself is the greatest teacher if you are willing to pay attention. Every failure is a lesson. Every success is a lesson. Every person you meet has something to teach you if you are willing to listen. Too many people go through life blind to the lessons right in front of them. They fail, but instead of learning, they complain. They succeed, but instead of asking why, they celebrate and move on. Don't do that. Analyze everything. Ask yourself after every experience, what did this teach me? How can I use this to grow? That is how you turn life itself into your classroom. There is no excuse not to educate yourself. Information has never been more accessible. Books, videos, podcasts, mentors, all at your fingertips. The world is full of teachers if you are willing to look for them. But you must make the choice. Nobody is going to force you to learn. Nobody's going to put the knowledge into your head for you. You have to want it. You have to go after it. You have to commit to it like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. The quality of your life depends on the quality of your mind. And the quality of your mind depends on how much you feed it, how much you challenge it, how much you educate it. So ask yourself, what are you doing today to feed your mind? What are you doing to grow? What are you doing to unlock more of your potential? If the answer is nothing, then you are not standing still. You are moving backward, because the world is not stopping. Time is not stopping. The only way to keep up is to keep learning, to keep growing, to keep evolving. And every single time you make that choice, every time you decide to educate yourself instead of wasting your time, you are proving to yourself that you are serious about your future. You are proving to yourself that you are not like everyone else, that you are willing to do the hard things to create the life you want. That builds self-respect. That builds confidence. That builds a sense of power that nobody can take away from you. This is how you unlock your true potential. Not through luck, not through shortcuts, not through waiting for someone to hand it to you. You unlock it through daily discipline, daily education, daily growth. One page, one lesson, one step at a time. And if you stay committed to that path, there is no limit to how far you can go. You must realize that greatness is not something that suddenly appears. It is built, it is carved, it is created through years of effort and consistency. And at the core of that creation is your commitment to educate yourself daily. Because when you make that commitment, you are saying to the world, I will not settle for less. I will not live an average life. I will not waste the potential I was given. That mindset changes everything. It gives you focus. It gives you drive. It gives you clarity. Suddenly, every moment has meaning, because every moment becomes an opportunity to grow. The truth is, most people waste their moments. They wake up, they go through the same routine, they complain about their problems, and they go to bed no further ahead than they were yesterday. That is how entire decades slip away. But when you choose to educate yourself daily, even for a short time, those same decades become powerful. Instead of wasting years, you build years. Instead of drifting through life, you take control of it. And that control gives you freedom. Because when you know more, you can do more. When you can do more, you can become more. And when you become more, you unlock levels of freedom that average people never experience. Freedom is not about doing whatever you want whenever you want. Real freedom is about having the power to choose your path, to build your future, to rise above limitations. And that freedom only comes when you have the skills, the knowledge, the discipline to back it up. If you don't educate yourself, you are trapped. You are stuck depending on others to make decisions for you, stuck depending on luck, stuck depending on circumstances. But when you educate yourself, you take back that control. You don't wait for opportunities, you create them. You don't depend on others, you depend on yourself. That is real freedom. And the beautiful thing is, education compounds. What you learn today does not disappear tomorrow. It stacks on top of what you learned yesterday, and what you learn tomorrow will stack on top of that. Over time, this creates a mountain of knowledge, a mountain of experience, a mountain of confidence. And that mountain is what allows you to stand tall, to see further, to go higher than you ever imagined. But if you never start stacking, if you never start building, you will always stay at ground level, wondering why others are reaching heights you can't even see. Every challenge you face is a test of what you have learned. Life will throw obstacles at you, and if you have not educated yourself, those obstacles will break you. But if you have been preparing daily, if you have been feeding your mind, if you have been building your skills, then those same obstacles become opportunities. Where others see problems, you see chances to apply what you know, to prove to yourself that you are capable to grow even more. Education doesn't just prepare you for the good times, it prepares you to survive and thrive in the bad times. It gives you the tools to turn pain into progress, setbacks into comebacks, failures into stepping stones. And I want you to understand something important. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to hand you the life you want. Nobody is going to sit you down every day and force you to learn, to grow, to improve. That responsibility is ours. That discipline is yours. And that is a good thing because it means your future is in your hands. The moment you accept that, the moment you take ownership, you become unstoppable. Because if it depends on you, then you can control it. And if you can control it, then there is nothing that can hold you back. The reason most people fail to reach their potential is not because they don't have the ability. It is because they don't have the discipline. They want the reward without the work. They want the success without the sacrifice. They want the knowledge without the effort of learning. But that is not how it works. You cannot cheat your way to greatness. You cannot skip the process. The process is what makes you strong. The process is what prepares you. The process is what transforms you into the person who is capable of holding success. If you skip the process, even if you get success, you will lose it. But if you embrace the process, if you educate yourself daily, then when success comes, you will be ready to hold it, to grow it, to multiply it. The mindset you need is simple. Every day get better. Even if it is 1%, even if it is something small, just get better. One lesson, one page, one new idea. Because when you add those up over weeks, months, years, they create massive transformation. That is how people go from nothing to something, from ordinary to extraordinary, from average to great. They did not leap in one day. They climbed step by step, and every step was built on daily education. So start asking yourself, what am I feeding my mind today? Am I wasting it on distractions, or am I fueling it with something that will help me grow? Am I challenging myself, or am I hiding from the challenge? Am I choosing comfort, or am I choosing progress? Those questions matter because your answers create your future. If you choose comfort every day, your future will be small. If you chose from O's progress every day, your future will be massive. And let me be clear, progress does not feel good all the time. Sometimes it hurts, sometimes it is frustrating, sometimes it feels like you are going backward. But that is the same as in the gym. Growth comes with pain, growth comes with sweat, growth comes with struggle. If you are not willing to feel that, you will never grow. But if you embrace it, if you accept that the struggle is part of the process, then you will come out on the other side stronger, smarter, and more powerful than you ever imagined. You must demand more from yourself than anyone else does. Do not wait for someone to push you. Push yourself. Do not wait for someone to inspire you. Inspire yourself. Do not wait for someone to tell you what to learn. Seek it out on your own. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who wait. They are the ones who act. They are proactive. They are hungry. They are relentless. And that hunger must come from you. Nobody can give it to you. Nobody can install it in you. You must create it yourself every single day by reminding yourself why you are doing this, by focusing on the life you want to build, by refusing to settle for less. And when you do this, when you stay disciplined, when you educate yourself every single day, you build an identity. You stop being someone who tries and you become someone who does. You stop being someone who hopes and you become someone who acts. You stop being someone who dreams and you become someone who achieves. That identity is powerful because once you see yourself that way, once you believe you are that person, everything changes. Your standards rise. Your habits change. Your life transforms. Do not underestimate how powerful this is. You are not just educating your mind. You are reshaping your entire life. You are creating a new version of yourself. And that version is stronger, smarter, more disciplined, more confident, more capable. That version is the one who can face any challenge, seize any opportunity, and build a future that others can only dream of. And the only way to meet that version of yourself is to commit to daily education, to daily growth, to daily improvement. You have to remember that life is not waiting for you. The clock is always ticking, the world is always moving, and opportunities are passing by every single day. If you are not educating yourself, if you are not growing, then every opportunity that comes your way will slip through your fingers because you will not be ready to grab it. Life does not reward the ones who sit still. It rewards the ones who are prepared. And preparation is education. Preparation is the daily grind of sharpening your mind, adding new tools to your toolbox, and becoming the kind of person who can take advantage of what life offers. And it is not only about opportunities, it is also about challenges, because make no mistake, life will test you. You will face setbacks, failures, rejections, disappointments. That is guaranteed. The question is, will you be strong enough to keep going? Will you be smart enough to find a way through? Will you be resilient enough to rise again? The strength to do that does not appear out of thin air. It is built through education. When you keep learning, you develop the strategies, the mindset, the resilience to face those storms without being broken by them. You may get knocked down, but you will always know how to get back up. Every single day, you are either preparing yourself or unpreparing yourself. There is no neutral. If you are not feeding your mind, you are starving it. If you are not moving forward, you are falling behind. The world is too fast, too competitive, too demanding for you to stand still. You must become relentless about growth. You must make the decision that no matter what happens, you will not go to bed without learning something, without growing in some way, without making yourself a little bit better than you were. And you woke up. And you must understand this. Nobody cares about your excuses. The world does not care if you are tired, if you are busy, if you have other things going on. Life does not pause because you are overwhelmed. Success does not wait for you to feel ready. You either do the work or you don't. You either educate yourself or you stay the same. You either push forward or you fall behind. The choice is always yours. That is why discipline is everything. Discipline means you do it even when you don't feel like it, even when it is inconvenient, even when it would be easier to quit. Discipline is what turns intention into reality. And think about the reward. Every time you learn something new, you gain power. Power over your future, power over your circumstances, power over yourself. That power cannot be taken away. It cannot be stolen. It cannot be destroyed. It is yours. You carry it with you wherever you go. And the more you collect, the more powerful you become. That is why the richest investment you can make is not in money, not in possessions, but in your own mind. Because everything else can vanish, but your knowledge, your skills, your wisdom, those stay with you forever. Now imagine the life you could create if you truly committed to this. Imagine the version of yourself 5 years from now, after 5 years of daily growth. Imagine how much smarter, stronger, more capable you would be. Imagine the doors that would open, the opportunities that would appear, the people you would inspire. That version of you exists. It is waiting. But you can only meet that version if you commit today, if you decide right now that you will not waste another moment, that you will not go another day without educating yourself. And don't forget, growth is not just about achievement. It is about fulfillment. There is a joy that comes from learning, from realizing that you are capable of more than you thought. There is a fire that comes from breaking through limits, from expanding your mind, from seeing the world in new ways. That joy, that fire, it gives you energy, it gives you purpose. It makes life exciting. Without growth, life becomes dull, repetitive, empty. But with growth, every day feels like progress. Every day feels like victory. Every day feels like a step towards something greater. But it takes courage. It takes courage to admit you don't know everything. It takes courage to be a beginner again and again. It takes courage to step out of your comfort zone and challenge yourself with something new. Most people are too afraid of looking foolish, too afraid of failing, too afraid of discomfort. That is why they never grow. But if you want to unlock your true potential, you must be willing to look foolish, to fail, to be uncomfortable, because that is the price of growth. That is the price of greatness. So push yourself into those situations. Take the class, read the book, ask the question, try the skill, make the mistake, fail forward. That is how you learn. That is how you grow. That is how you build yourself into someone unstoppable. Every great person you admire started as a beginner. They struggled, they failed, they fell down, but they kept going, they kept learning, they kept growing. That is why they became great. You are no different. You have the same potential, the same ability, the same chance. The only question is whether you will have the same courage. And I want you to realize something powerful. The more you grow, the more you give. When you educate yourself, when you unlock your potential, you are not only changing your own life, you are also creating value for others. You become a leader, a teacher, an example. You create opportunities not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. Your growth inspires others to grow. Your strength gives others strength. Your wisdom gives others guidance. That is the ultimate reward, not just what you achieve for yourself, BST, out what you make possible for others. But again, it all comes back to the daily choice. Every morning when you wake up, you have a decision to make. Will you waste this day or will you use it? Will you settle or will you grow? Will you repeat yesterday or will you build tomorrow? That decision is made in the small moments. The moment you decide to pick up a book instead of your phone, the moment you decide to listen to something inspiring instead of something meaningless, the moment you decide to reflect on your mistakes instead of ignoring them. Those small decisions create massive results over time. This is why you cannot take days off from growth. Just like with training, if you skip too many days, you lose your momentum. And once you lose momentum, it becomes harder to start again. That is why you must make it non-negotiable. Growth is not something you do when you feel like it. It is something you do because it is who you are. You are someone who grows. You are someone who learns. You are someone who refuses to settle. Make that your identity and everything else will follow. And remember, the journey never ends. No matter how much you know, there will always be more to learn. No matter how much you achieve, there will always be more to strive for. That is the beauty of life. There is always another level. There is always another mountain to climb, another horizon to chase, another version of yourself to become. Do not fear that endless journey. Embrace it, love it, because that journey is what makes life meaningful. That journey is what gives you purpose. That journey is what unlocks your true potential. That is why you must wake up every day with hunger. Hunger to learn, hunger to grow, hunger to take one more step toward your highest potential. Without hunger, you will settle, you will accept less than what you are capable of, you will let life pass you by. But when you live with hunger, when you live with the drive to expand your mind every single day, you will never settle. You will never accept average. You will always be pushing, always be moving forward, always be climbing to the next level. And you will notice something happens when you live this way. People around you will change. Some will be inspired. They will see your discipline and your growth, and they will want to rise with you. Others will feel threatened. They will see you growing while they stay the same, and they will try to pull you back. They will tell you to slow down, to stop trying so hard, to be realistic. But you cannot listen to them. If you listen, you will kill your own potential. If you listen, you will shrink to their level. You must protect your growth. You must protect your mind. You must protect your hunger. Because at the end of the day, your life is your responsibility, not theirs. There will always be resistance. Growth is not supposed to be easy. If it were easy, everybody would do it and everyone would be great. But look around. Most people are not great. Most people gave up on their potential a long time ago. They traded their hunger for comfort, their dreams for excuses, their growth for distractions, and then they wonder why they feel unfulfilled, why they feel stuck, why they feel like something is missing. What is missing is progress. What is missing is growth. What is missing is the fire that comes from learning and evolving every single day. Do not let that happen to you. Refuse to become like everyone else. Refuse to waste your life in comfort. Choose growth. Choose the harder path, the path of daily discipline, the path of daily education. Because that path is the only one that leads to the best version of yourself. That path is the only one that unlocks your true potential. And you have to remind yourself constantly why this matters. Because there will be days when you don't feel like it. There will be days when you are tired, when you are discouraged, when you feel like you are not making progress. Those are the most important days. Those are the days when your discipline must be stronger than your feelings. Those are the days when you must remind yourself of the vision you are chasing, of the person you want to become, of the life you are building. Because if you can push through those days, you will separate yourself from the crowd. The crowd only works when it's easy. The great ones work when it's hard. And you will discover something powerful. The more you learn, the more capable you feel. The more capable you feel, the more confident you become. And the more confident you become, the more risks you are willing to take, the more challenges you are willing to face, the more opportunities you are willing to grab. It is a cycle of growth. Education leads to confidence. Confidence leads to action. Action leads to results. Results lead to more hunger for education. That is the cycle you must create and your life. That is the cycle that turns ordinary people into extraordinary leaders. But it all comes back to the daily choice. One day of learning will not change your life. One seminar, one book, one speech, it will not transform you. It can inspire you, but inspiration without daily action is worthless. Transformation comes from repetition. Transformation comes from showing up every day. Transformation comes from stacking one day of growth on top of another until you cannot even recognize the person you used to be. That is how it happens. That is how you unlock your potential, not in a single moment, but in a lifetime of daily decisions. And here is something I want you to burn into your mind. Potential means nothing if you don't use it. Everyone has potential. Every person has gifts, talents, and abilities inside of them. But most people will die without ever unlocking it. because they never had the discipline to grow, to learn, to push beyond their comfort zone. Do not let that be your story. Do not let your potential die inside of you. Use it, develop it, stretch it, unlock it every single day by feeding your mind, by challenging yourself, by never settling. And the beauty is, the more you unlock, the more you realize there is even more to unlock. Potential is infinite. Just when you think you have reached your limit, you will discover another level. Just when you think you have learned everything you need, you will discover there is more to learn. Just when you think you are done, you will realize you are only beginning. That is the thrill of growth. That is what makes life exciting. There is always another level waiting for you, and you can only reach it if you keep educating yourself. So never be satisfied. Celebrate your progress, yes, but never think you are finished. Always stay hungry, always stay humble, always stay curious. That is how you keep climbing. That is how you keep growing. That is how you keep unlocking more of yourself. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who reach a certain level and stop. They are the ones who keep going, who keep learning, who keep expanding until the day they take their last breath. That is the mindset you need. That is the life you must live if you want to unlock everything inside of you. And don't think this is just about success in the usual sense, money, titles, recognition. Those things are fine, but this goes deeper. Educating yourself daily makes you a better human being. It makes you wiser, more compassionate, more capable of understanding others. It allows you to contribute more, to give more, to impact more lives. It is not only about what you gain, it is about what you give. The more you grow, the more you have to offer the world. And that is the true purpose of potential, to use it in service of something bigger than yourself. But none of that can happen if you don't make the decision. The decision to wake up every day with hunger, the decision to push past comfort, the decision to educate yourself no matter what. That decision is the key that unlocks everything else. Without it, you stay stuck. With it, you unlock a life beyond what you can even imagine right now. So do not wait. Do not put it off. Do not tell yourself you will start tomorrow or next week or when life is easier. Life will never be easier. You will always be busy. You will always have challenges. You will always have distractions. If you wait for the perfect time, you will be waiting forever. The only perfect time is now. The only moment you control is today. The only choice that matters is the one you make right now. Will you choose to grow, or will you choose to stay the same? Will you choose to feed your mind, or will you let it starve? Will you choose to unlock your potential, or will you bury it? That is the question, and only you can answer it.